You got me.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, yeah, this stuff is weird, man. But all right, go ahead. I'm ready.
Everything's good, man. We're back. We're in business. We're in business.
We in business, but go on. What's been up with you, bro? How you been?
I've been great. How's everything going with you?
Hey, everything in slow motion, man. I can't complain.
I hear you.
So, hey.
Yo, first of all, I want to say I'm super excited to have you on the channel.
Hey, that's good. This is my first one. So, hey, glad to make your acquaintance, bro.
Yeah, man. So, first of all, I got to say, just to put that punch in, hey, first of all, I want to say, no James Gunn, no money. Wallets open on July 11th.
Hey, I mean, I heard this because there's one guy that make a video about me and he's trying to get his little slogan going. So if that's y'all slogan, I respect it, but I know I don't agree with it, but
Hey, all jokes aside though, I'm just kidding on that. At this point, I'm gonna get down to the questions, but just a real consensus. Like I see where everybody's issues is. Again, just to state this while I'm talking to you, I thoroughly enjoy more of Zack Snyder's films than I have with James Gunn. I'm an advocate for the character in himself. I would love for the Snyder to continue, but I just been on a more realistic spectrum to where, dude, if that does happen at this point, I feel like hell would freeze over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't want to give myself hope on that and just try to focus on what is for the now. So that's where I come from, just to get that out of the way. Like, I love The Watchmen. I love Man of Steel. If I had to be real, Batman v Superman was the only issue that I ever had with a Zack Snyder film going off cinematically. Not because of the... Go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, because not because of the visuals. Everything is epic. And I already stated this. I don't see James Gunn beating any of Zack Snyder's action, pieces, his cinematography, his visuals. So I already have in my head that I'm not going to see no Dragon Ball Z stuff like we saw when it was Zack Snyder. I already have in my head we're not going to have... It'll look awesome, but I don't think it'll be on an epic grand scale like that. But I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, just to get to your question, you said BBS. Like, what was your issues with it, if you don't mind sharing?
Okay, and my bad to even skip forward because
we're talking about the theatrical cut or the whole thing.
Yeah, see, we're gonna talk about the theatrical because yes, I saw the Ultimate Edition, and again, yes, I was irritated because I'm like, even though it was a little bit better because we understood what was going on more, so it was more wholesome. I could not stand Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, my boy, bro. I just can't. Every time I watch the movie, that's the only time where I was like, what the hell is Zack Snyder thinking? I know what he was going for, but I'm like, this guy, especially Jesse Eisenberg, I know him as an actor and see his movies, and I'm like, I can't believe that happened. And also, it was like the fact of the matter of Batman and him, Batman fighting him and the resolve that came out of it and why he wanted to fight him. I was just kind of like, that's kind of a dumb reason. You feel me? Like, I get he's powerful enough to destroy the world, but mother freaker, obviously you see this man saving people. So I just felt like him getting so riled up and actually take action towards him. I was just, and I get Lex Luthor was setting everything up for them to clash, but at a common sense level, especially Batman being so intellectually smart, I'm like, bro, do you not see the writing on the wall? You know what I'm saying? And see that this alien that you are despising so much is literally really out here helping people, depending on how you see it. But that was mainly my problem with it. And Doomsday, my God. Right, that's just another take on it. It was just, yeah.
Yeah, well, BVS has a little, it's kind of special to me because I actually seen it being filmed.
Okay, tight.
Yeah, when it came to the city of Detroit, I was working with the Detroit police at that time.
Okay.
But yeah, I know that's everybody's problem, but why did BVS begin in the first place? Because, Zack Snyder was on record saying he didn't even want to do that. The studio forced him to do it. And I felt like people was punishing him for doing what the studio wanted. He didn't want to do a BVS. He wanted to go into Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac, and I mean, he did what he did. You know, I did not like the theatrical cut. I thought it sucked. I was angry. But then when I think the final, you know, the ultimate edition, I'm like, well, damn, why did they leave this out? Even though the story was still kind of, you know, it was still kind of wanky or whatever, but I enjoyed that version better. But
No,
you know, I think people fail to realize that theatrical version, the shitty version,
that was not
the 800 something million version. Like, so we can only imagine if the full version would have got released. But I mean, that's all in the past. You know?
Nah, but hey, but you know, you did get me on there with that, because I did forget that Zack even said that he didn't want to go that route.
Right.
It's just, it really sucks because, and I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the first question so we could get on track and everything.
Yeah.
But because we're gonna get back into that, because that's gonna circle around to it. But again,
but yeah, go ahead, go with your first questions.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, the symbol on Superman's chest. Do you have any ounce of hope, you know what I'm saying, regarding James Gunn's Superman film when it comes out? Just personally with you, I know everything. I saw all your videos. I know how you feel about it. I just want to know: do you truly believe in your heart that not a single single ounce of good is going to come out of this film, just from your perspective?
Probably not, because I go by just what I've seen so far. Now, if he shows something at the Puppy Bowl or the Poodle Bowl that'll change my mind, so be it. But as far as what I've seen thus far, no, because what I've seen was a Superman getting battered, getting stuff thrown at him at the crowd, him crying over his broken robot. I mean, where's the hope at? That's why I'm trying to ask, you know, you guys, because you guys the one, and I respect your opinion. I respect everybody who's hyped for the film, and I hope it works out good for you, you know?
Yes.
But where do you see the hope in this film, in his trailer? Because I don't see the guy smiling. I don't see him. I just see a lot of negativity towards him.
I think, just to counteract that, because I know that's what so many people have been saying due to that teaser trailer. They're like, yo, this guy's moping. Everybody was bitching and complaining about how Zack Snyder had emo, you know, Henry Cavill. There's no hope in it. And to counteract that, I'm like, at the end of the day, when it comes to Superman and the essence of his character, there will always people who will, you know, see hope in him, that will either worship him, see hope in him, or hate him. So it's like, either SnyderVerse or Gunn's DCU, they cannot escape that spectrum of the film. It's going to happen, and I get that. And see, that's where the marketing and the trailer editing has to be peak, because I even said that. I'm like, yo, who made this trailer? You feel me? Because I even cried watching that bit. I was just overwhelmed, and it was amazing to me. But when I came back to reality, I was like, well, damn, I didn't see much hope in that trailer neither. You feel me? It was a divide. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Talk. This is your show.
Okay. It was a divide that I saw, and I knew that was gonna come. I'm like, you see him with his dad, you know, see him with Clark, you know, with Joseph Kent. Joseph looks sick as freak. He's about to be on his deathbed. You see the mob of the people behind him. The guy throws a can at his head. You know what I'm saying? He's beaten. He's to a bloody pulp, which I see where James Gunn came with that. I guess he wanted to humanize Superman for, you know, on that spectrum, and show that, oh, he's not always all powerful, and wants to show him vulnerable. And that's Superman at his best, when he's vulnerable and he's as relatable as a human can ever be. He has nothing. He's broken. He's asking for his dog to help him out, you know, take me home, you know, all that other good stuff. And I'm going to reserve that when I see the film to really say, like, yo, okay, there was no hope in the Man of Steel. There wasn't no hope in James Gunn Superman either. So, and even with Man of Steel, I would never say that there wasn't really much hope. It's just, I guess people were so bothered with the with how Martha, and especially how Joseph Kent in the Man of Steel handled certain things when it came to raising Superman, you know, and Clark, and telling him, you should have probably let those kids on the bus just, you know, die, and all this other stuff. And then you just see him being a vagabond, traveling, just everything's down to that point. But there was still a ray of hope in Man of Steel that I could see. It was just a realistic take. So when it comes to the trailer itself for James Gunn's Superman and how people said there was no hope in that either, I totally agree. But I'm gonna tell everybody just to reserve that for when we actually see the film. But I totally agree. I did not see, the only hopeful thing in that trailer was the Superman theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was
I will be seriously real with you. And again, you got me wearing the hat over here. And anybody watching this, I'm gonna say this for real. Thinking about the Superman teaser, the James Gunn Superman teaser trailer, I didn't see any like bright Superman, you know what I'm saying, comic book stance. Like, he didn't smile either. So yes, I can definitely agree and say that I didn't feel hope exuding from it, but I felt hope in the project of us probably seeing a great representation when the movie comes out. But as for the trailer itself, yes, I can agree and say I didn't really see much hope there.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody has a problem with, it's not really James. Well, it is James Gunn, but I think the problem is when Henry Cavill announced his return or whatever, everybody got attached to that, and for him not to return, and it just felt like people feel like they was misled at the end of the day, and
it felt betrayed.
That's pretty much the purpose of my panel, because there was other YouTubers who was down for the SnyderVerse and all the stuff that they turned on everybody. You know, they turned on their subscribers. So, and I'm like, look, I want the SnyderVerse. I mean,
you feel like they betrayed the cause. They turned their back on the movement.
Yeah, because we was told that the SnyderVerse didn't even exist, and Zack,
and that was a lie, obviously.
He was on an interview probably like a year or two ago, asking him some basic question. He said pretty much the studio called him because people was demanding it.
Yeah.
It was popular or whatever. And I didn't know it was that popular. I just thought it was just a rumor, you know. But eventually, once I did my research, this was a whole movement. There's people, not just in the U.S., it's people all around the globe wanted the Snyder cut.
Asking for it, you know, that was hot in demand, especially after the 4-hour Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah, so
I will just, sorry to cut you off. I will say on that too, when you're saying, now that you're saying that, because now that brought up a fond memory that Zack Snyder did when he was having an interview. And shout out to Real Anarchy. I saw him put, great question. I see you. Thank you for joining us and being in the chat. I know he's another fellow person who talks about I see him, he's been talking about the Superman, James Gunn and everything like that, but I like his content as well. Thank you for being here, Real Anarchy. Appreciate it.
Yes, I know he is.
Yeah. So, and I would love to do an interview with, like I said, one time I would like to have everybody, we can all talk about this. Real Anarchy, Aaron Fischer, I think that's,
I know a lot of people, they see what I represent, but I'm a real cool person, But there's people that really don't like me. Like, a lot of people make a lot of videos about me, and I'm like, wow, like.
And see, I did not want to take that route. I said, let me talk to Harsh Critic, because again, I love to see other people's opinions and their values. Just because we don't agree don't mean we can't be cool. I think nowadays that's the niche, to hate, you know what I'm saying? To hate on what this man got going on, to attack, to have drama. I'm not with the drama. Say that shit for your mama. We are grown men.
Yeah.
We could talk about this and have a civil conversation and try to understand your opinion, understand mine, and see where our values are at when it comes to Superman cinematically.
Yeah, you have different opinions. That's what makes the world go round. You may not like my opinion, or I may not like yours, but at the end of the day, it's just your opinion, and I can only respect that.
I ain't gonna take you out. I ain't trying to aim and take out your whole family because we ain't agreeing. That's utterly ridiculous. We grown. But
go ahead with your questions. I know you.
No, you good. Because I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna take off from what you said. When the SnyderVerse, the continuation was promised, I remember at an interview, Zack Snyder had a picture of his Jon Stewart. I don't know if you remembered when he showed that. And I'm like, dude, this man, it truly seems like he had a good amount already prepared and set even after the Zack Snyder Justice League was released on Max. I'm like, this man seemed like he had a whole pamphlet. he had scripts ready, all that stuff, and I feel bad because his vision was obviously buried. It's like it was shoved in the vault because I guess the executives David Zaslav and Peter Safran already made a decision, and even I said, when I had a discussion with Jody's Corner, I don't know if you know about Jody's Corner and everything like that. When I called in with him and I talked about it to him on an interview, a lot of people, or especially, when it comes to people and their YouTubers and their subscribers, it's like a cult. Nobody wants to battle against the machine or ask real questions and look outside the lines. Because I don't know if you, just another spin-off question of this, if you watch Superman and Lois.
I never seen that. I do have HBO Max. I need to check that. But I heard that was pretty good.
This on the CW, so you ain't got to even really worry about having bread to watch it. But it's on HBO Max now anyway, all the seasons. So season 1 to 4. Yo, if you're a Superman fan, anybody in the chat, if you're a Superman fan, go watch that show. I feel like it's dope. It breaks down Superman in such a layered version of him being a father, seeing his kids, him being a husband, and then all the stuff that happened in there. If you're a Superman fan, I definitely tell you to go check it out. But I was really pissed on that situation because, bro, I low-key love the show. I haven't even watched the finale yet because the boy gonna cry. I know I'm gonna cry when I watch that series finale. Because it was said that they had more seasons to come. And due to, I don't know if it was James Gunn, I don't know if it was the studio, they canceled it early. So that's why they had to, season 4 was kind of packed because they had to rush everything in season 4 and end it. And I was pissed off rip. I'm like, this man James Gunn coming up in here, he's keep cleaning the house. I'm like, is he afraid to have David Cornsweet next to Tyler Hoechlin Superman because he gonna get outshined? Is that what they have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, remember James Gunn said he is the studio. Him and Peter is the studio. So whatever is going on, if they canceled it, that's him. Just like the trailer that you seen, that you said you kind of didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he was on Twitter saying he's looking for the best version, and was that the best version you can give people? But at the end of the day, it's James Gunn. This is all him. He said he's the studio, him and Peter. He said that. So it's up to you fans to hold him accountable. And that's where my channel come in, because if I'm like, well, if you guys really don't want this, just don't support him anymore, which that's just the only way to make people understand. I mean, I don't have that many subscribers, so I don't know how much of an influence I can have.
Yeah, man, it's pretty decent, you know what I'm saying? You almost have 5,000, so it's pretty good to start,
And shout out to the 5,000, because I'm definitely gonna do, a thank you. But someone like Tyrone Magnus,
yeah,
and he has a more influence to try to change people's minds, or somebody like John Campbell,
and we all know
Randolph.
Yeah,
I'm appreciative of my 5,000 subscribers, but I'm like, well, look, you the consumer, it's your money, you decide. If you want to go ahead and support James Gunn, then go ahead, but you don't have to if that's what you really don't want. And like, I watch some of your videos, and I can already answer this question for you, because if I was to ask you, who would you rather have, David Cornsweet or Henry Cavill, your answer would be,
this guy put me on the spot. I'm sorry. I mean, obviously it'd be Henry. It'd be Henry, but and again, it's no tribalism here. That's why I want people to understand. Yeah. I got this hat and a shirt and a jacket just to show support, because at this point it's like, appreciate it, Real Anarchy. I see you. Yeah, I like the vibe. There's more. Like, yes. It's because I'm gonna be real. And I'm going to keep it 100 real, because Henry Cavill, bro, just even seeing the guy, I don't even know this man personally, but seeing him on interviews and how he interacts with the fans, it's like, bro, you can't hate this guy. He's a lovable guy. You can't hate him. You feel me? And I feel like people are so distraught that they're mowing down David, which David looks like a cool guy as well. You know what I'm saying? This is his biggest role ever in his career. And it's sad that people are eating him alive, because he's the rebound for such a great Superman that we had in Henry Cavill. And I feel sad for him. I feel sad for both of them, bro.
I mean, the whole cast is getting ridiculed. If you're honest, most people don't like the Lois Lane. They don't like the Perry White. I mean, that's the baggage. That's the baggage they take on from the other studio, and that's my whole thing with James Gunn. Just make it right with the fans. Like we already know you want to do a reboot. Let's just finish the story. Or I mean, why can't it be Elseworlds? Why can't it be?
See, I'm gonna get to that. Yeah, that's one of the questions. That's one of those questions. So, not sorry to cut you off because I know we're gonna retrace back to all this stuff because for my second question, and it's kind of like a decent sized question to be real. I'm gonna give it all to you.
Okay.
So I said, I wrote down, do you truly believe if the Snyderverse was to return that it would actually save the DC? And I wanted to add on the receipts as well because I'm looking at box office receipts. You know what I'm saying? To add to that question. Because I asked the question because due to the theatrical box office statements regarding Zack Snyder's projects, that goes for Man of Steel and BVS. I'm not going to count Zack Snyder Justice League because obviously it was on a streaming platform. So I can't bring that in. So looking at Man of Steel and BVS, I won't include Justice League, obviously, the Zack Snyder. And I'm not going to include the Justice League version that was theatrically, the Josh Whedon, because he messed that freaker up. Yeah. I didn't want to include that. That's why I'm looking at the full projects of Man of Steel and BVS that was done by Zack Snyder. I was saying that in general, Man of Steel was a success for some people. Some people still think that it should have made more. You know what I'm saying, for Man of Steel?
But it is the highest grossing Superman film today. It beat Superman Returns.
Facts. And when I say the people, you know how we got... It sucks because competition is there. Because it is the most highest grossing Superman film of all time. But I guess in the realm of MCU, like Iron Man and all them, when they're hitting billions, people were still kind of... You know what I'm saying? Because I think... if I looked it up, I think Man of Steel made 600-something million? Almost 700 in that range, 6 or 7?
Yeah, and the first Iron Man only made 500 million. But
500 million?
The first Iron Man made 500-something million.
True. But as popularity.
As popular went on, the last two made $1 billion.
Yeah.
So that just, that's creative by Marvel. That's Marvel's genius to do that, but they go back to your question, you're saying that Zack Snyder is restored.
Yeah, and I'm going to finish off on this because, no, true, like I said, because I think Man of Steel was a success. You just have those people oh, it's Superman, it should have made a little bit more. And I'm like, well, whatever, that's what you're saying because a lot of people want to have the comparison to Marvel around that time with the Avengers and stuff like that. I guess they expected more out of Superman, but I think Man of Steel did good. It still was a success in general because that's how we got a lot of stuff. And basically when I'm saying, when it came to BVS though, BVS is obviously the icebreaker here, to be real, because, BVS had an amazing start when it came to the box office and for the debut, but had a significant drop in the second week, which deemed it a commercial disappointment, obviously, and it had extreme mixed reviews from critics and, audiences. And we all know how that goes. We just talked about it earlier, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Studio interference.
Exactly. And you know what sucks? People, they ain't even trying to hear that. And that's what sucks. Zach, you know what I'm saying? He still provided what he provided for the fans, and I respect him for that, even though that's not what he truly wanted. But looking at all the facts, do you truly believe if the Snyderverse was to return that it would honestly save DC just from that track record alone? You know what I'm saying?
In the base, I think to answer your question, if Snyderverse was to return, I think it'll give the fans more optimism because right now the brand is damaged. We can all agree to that, right?
Yes.
I don't know if it would save DC, so to speak, but I do think people will trust DC a little bit more just because they're listening to what the fans want, and to really find out, we'll just have to restore it and see. I mean, and I guess we'll have to go by whatever James Gunn Superman made. to really answer that question, because if it
yes.
if it succeeds, then the audience is, feel that, it was feeling it. But if it fails, which is that's a possibility, this movie could fail. Then
man,
that should say something. That should say something.
No, but I'm just throwing darts at the wall. You know what I'm saying, when I'm asking a question like that, because
the answer, I would assume it will, because I think that's where the majority of the fans are.
That's where the money's at for Warner Brothers, obviously.
Yep, and then I would say the optics of the reputation would be good. They can be right. Well, we heard you. Just like when they did the Snyder Cut, that was good. All right, they gave it to it. Didn't nobody believe that was going to happen. When I seen that announcement, I thought that was something fake.
Thought it was fake. Yeah, thought it wasn't even real. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. And then once we got the movie, it was like, wow, And
it blows. It just started to cut you off. It blows me away watching, thinking about the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. Bro, it's crazy how that one scene. I don't even want to bring this man up, but Ezra Miller's Flash.
Yeah.
I despise that mother freaker as Flash, bro. I truly did. Oh, and shout out to DC all the way. I see you in there. I'm not trying to ignore you. We're just we'll get to everything in the chats when we can. But yeah, Ezra Miller, that scene, bro, when he saved everyone. And he ran so fast. He basically ran back in the past and saved everybody from the mother box blast.
Mm-hmm.
And that epic score that he had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's running, and everything's like recalibrating and coming back. Dude, I damn near dropped tears, because the meaning of it to him and the score. And see, I'm gonna get to that in a second with the other questions, because that score, James Gunn. As much as I'm rooting for this film, I'm scared. I'm terrified for it because of the comparison and what we've had.
Yeah.
And he has to that's what I'm scared about. He has to remember that he has to compete with Zack's projects. He can't deny that. And that's where I feel like he's failing, because he's denying that competition of he has to do better.
Yeah. Yeah, and
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. This is your show. Go ahead.
Thank you. Appreciate it, bro. Because I know you always say, yo, I know that's one of your main words when it comes to talking about the Superman film. Mediocre. Mediocre. The suit, mediocre. Yes. Like, I don't know what he was drinking or smoking when they showed him that design and they showed him the end result of David wearing it. I would have actually cursed out my suit team. I would have cursed them out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because looking at, and a lot of people don't even like Henry Cavill's suit. And I understand that. But comparing the suits, we got to go with common sense. Which one looks more cooler? Which one looks more Kryptonian-like? And I've even said in my reaction that I'm praying to God that this suit for that David is wearing is something that Martha made him. Like, I'm praying.
And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't, because you hear this a lot. Oh, maybe he's going to get another suit at the end and all this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that.
Or they're going to fix it up in pose. Well, we see they haven't fixed it up. Yeah. And it shouldn't be like that. This is a new universe. You should come with it. But, and he's coming with the same old, like I said, I'm not the only one saying his flying scene looks like Adam Warlock. It's the same as Zack's. It's the same thing. So you shouldn't even say that. You shouldn't even have to say that. For somebody that's looking forward to this new Superman film, you're praying to God that it's going to be fixed up in post, or he's going to get a new suit. I mean, the movie's already been shot. Maybe that's what they're doing the reshoots for, but I mean, I don't know. He hasn't shown me anything. And I think Aaron,
Aaron Fisher, he cracks me up.
He makes a full recovery, because I know he had an accident not too long ago.
Much
portrayal, but you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to say, "Oh, I hope that he gets a new suit," because at that point you're accepting mediocrity. The suit is tacky. From the first reveal to what we seen, it's like, okay, man, like what's really on?
Yeah, what's really going on?
Somebody made a big deal about that, and it just went viral.
Yeah,
that went to Forbes magazine. You can look at Forbes magazine wrote an article about that flying scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It blew up so much. And look, even I was irritated with that because we might as well just go ahead because I still have like 3 more questions left.
Yeah, go ahead.
A little bit, but when it came to the suit reveal, the flying scene, you feel me, and even down to Crypto, you feel me, even people with Crypto, because we all know how Crypto's supposed to look, bro.
Right.
He's what is he, a lab? He's a lab.
Yeah, Crypto's not even Crypto. That's Ozu, but just white. That's all. They look the same. That's James Gunn's dog in Man of Steel. I mean, in that Superman.
In the Superman movie. And I watched a YouTuber. I forgot his name, but it was funny. But he caught it, and I said, "Yo, I get it. I don't know if that's just the studio showing respects to James, but I'm gonna need James to pull back a little bit. Like, you feel me? Because I'm glad you're excited to be, basically running DC right now. But you putting your personal business and your personal life into it.
Yeah,
that's a fine line that I feel like a director shouldn't have to do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say it's very egotistical, but I'm like, dude, like you gotta, like, here's the thing. Again, okay, the situation with Crypto and his dog, that's an integration of him. You know what I'm saying? And how I don't know if you saw Creature Commandos.
Yeah, I saw a couple. I'll stop like at the third.
And again, I said, if you don't like I even said in my review, if you don't like the James Gunn formula, you're not gonna like the show. Period. I'm not gonna force anybody to accept a formula that they don't like. Even in the beginning of the intro for Creature Commandos, like, they animated James Gunn saying, featuring James Gunn, they animated him showing him on the computer typing. And I'm like, you shouldn't have to do that. Zack Snyder never told you mother freakers to put him in a movie or animate me and show me, you know what I'm saying? And even in the show, Rick Flag Sr., somebody even pointed out, like, Rick Flag Sr. looks like James Gunn, does he not? He looks more like James Gunn than he looks more like Frank Grillo, because Frank Grillo was supposed to play him in the live action. And I said that is a weird coincidence. And then the princess that he basically had relations with looks like James Gunn's wife, like off rip. And I'm just like, I noticed these few things, and I know that James Gunn has a sense of humor. You know what I'm saying? We all know this. But I'm like, I'm gonna need you to dial back, bro, and stop doing that, because I don't think that's nice and tasteful to the fans, and you don't really see directors doing that. So I'm gonna need him to dial down with that, to be real.
Yeah, I think James Gunn should have just stayed. If he was going to be the CEO, just stay the CEO. It's the fact that he's CEO and director
of the film. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just, maybe if they would have gave it to another director with another vision, then maybe people would have been more accepting to it. But this looks like a Guardians of the Galaxy film. Now, it may turn out great. It may be the best Superman ever. And I will come on here and say that, but from what I've seen, man, it's just like, hey, we told you. Like,
and on my channel, I literally said, if it's the best Superman film, I'm gonna say, I told y'all, bro, we in here. If it's garbage, I will do a straight, dude, as soon as I come at that theater, I will do a full-blown rant to the high heavens, and I will upload it and say, we was wrong. This man is here to assassinate DC. He is a secret agent from Marvel sent to destroy us. You feel me? That's why they let him. A lot of people even speculate like that.
Controversy. Like I said, I don't know, but I'm more like, look, let's just finish the story, because people, they don't like reboots, they don't like starting over. Which, okay, if you want to give it to another actor, fine, but
yes,
it's just the way Zack Snyder left off that story.
Sour taste in our mouth, bad taste.
And it's not people like me. I mean, You got the Russo brothers. You got a lot of famous people saying they want this stuff.
And that's funny. I didn't even know the Russo brothers said that.
Yeah, when they was doing the interview, I think the Russo brothers, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that Joe Rogan episode.
Yeah, they want to see that. Like, because the Russos asked him, like, well, are we ever going to see a conclusion? And Zack Snyder was like, well, maybe. But every time Zack Snyder goes on an interview, he would just say, look, I don't have control of the IP, y'all. Like, that's basically his argument. He's like, I don't have, the studio has control of the IP.
And it's like, even down the road now, realizing the situation with Zack Snyder, it gets more tragic by every reveal. Especially what happened, God rest her soul, the situation with his daughter. I ain't gonna really speak on that.
Right.
And what he was going through with the, execs saying, oh, hurry up, we got to catch up with Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Hurry up, money. We got to catch up. And that's not what he wanted to do. And even with BVS, finding out that wasn't even the real Doomsday. And he said that. He said that wasn't the real Doomsday. The real Doomsday was still out there. And I don't know if that was a real image that leaked of the mothership showing of an image of Doomsday outer space wreaking havoc. But he even said, yes, that was basically General Zod mutated.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I'll have to come here and reassure that, saying that BVS was such a hot mess, and I will come here and say that it really was not Zack Snyder's fault. If and I'm saying, and he doing it for a paycheck. A lot of people can say, he could have just said, I'm not doing this, I quit. But he got to feed his family, bro. Mother figure got to get his check. So he did what his boss told him to do. Just like how we do at our jobs. We do what our boss tells us to do. So it's like, say you're working at McDonald's and the people in the food make the food and you give it to the customer and they said, dude, this is not what I wanted. Zack Snyder, he's just the cashier. I'm like, dude, I'm just giving you the food. I got to go in the back. I'm sorry, my bad. This is what I got to give you. But I will have to go back and make another. You feel me? On fast food terms,
Right, and that's the same thing with the fans, and we will make our voice heard July 11th. We will see, is the majority accepting of this, because we don't have to accept it.
You don't. Exactly.
And, the power. Like I'm all about power of the consumer. If you want something and someone's not giving it to you, just don't support them at all.
That's not the product we want, so I'm not going to pay.
That's not the product we want.
And yeah, man,
all they want to, but then they'd have to face the consequences that come with that. But that's if his fans is the majority. Since we're the minority, since it said we're the minority, this film, based on those views, it should hit 1 billion or something like. It should hit somewhere around there based on those views that we all caught. We caught them or whatever, but. If you haven't views, this thing be better than a Dark Knight. Oh, it should do numbers like Dark Knight. It should do numbers.
I don't know about that one right there, better than Dark Knight. I don't know, because I don't care if nobody says, bro. To this day, the Dark Knight trilogy is still the best project out of you see what I'm saying, bro? It's so tragic because it's like we had Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League, Zack Snyder Justice League. And Christopher Nolan comes out with a masterpiece like that. First, Batman Begins, masterpiece, bro. Dark Knight, ultimate masterpiece. Dark Knight Rises. People even love Dark Knight Rises more than Dark Knight. It blows me away that just shows when it comes to good writers and a great director. And his team is on point. You feel me? Down to the suits, down to the villainry. This man made a realistic take on Batman. It wasn't even a fantasy take, bro. This man did a realistic take on Batman. And it's the best thing since sliced. It's the best thing DC has ever done. And that's what I'm saying. You have to compare. James Gunn can't run from this. You have to compare his stuff right now you have to compare it to Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. You have to compare it to Zack Snyder's projects.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah.
Because it's like same thing with, we're going to switch over to Marvel real quick. Same thing with Marvel. Marvel stuff right now is straight booty juice. It's garbage. You know why? Because we've been spoiled already. We've seen the build up to Thanos. We've seen them beat Thanos already. So now we're getting these smaller. Now we're building up again, and the characters that they're using to build up, we're not interested. Plus, we've already got spoiled already. We're like, yo, where's the big cosmic threats? Where are the people that we really care about? It's trash because now we have to build up again to something we didn't already got spoiled with. So James Gunn should have understood the mission, I think, from jump to, I know he wants to reboot everything. Hey, bro, but your reboot has to be fire off rip. You can reboot it, but the suit has to be fire. And I already said this on my channel. I already know that I feel like the script will be great. I really feel in my heart that the script will be great because I see James Gunn as a very good writer, and he's good with ensembles. People are, afraid that the cast is huge. I know the cast is huge, and again, that's his talents. He's good at developing and ensembling big teams. Suicide Squad that he did, the Guardians of the Galaxy. No matter if you don't like it or not, he did a great job exposing all those characters for the amount of time, you know what I'm saying, that he had them on the screen. So he's good with big ensembles. But when it comes to visuals, and see, I'm going to get to that question anyway real quick, but I'm going to circle back to that. But let me go to the third question.
Go ahead.
Because I don't know if I know you're busy, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Yeah, I got about like a half an hour left.
All right, bet. So I want to go on question 3, because this is something that I'm very interested to ask you, because this circulates to all Supermen that basically ever existed. Because I know since you're a big Snyder advocate for the restoring the SnyderVerse right now, I was going to ask you, do you think Henry Cavill is the modern pinnacle of a live action Superman, not including Christopher Reeves? Obviously, we putting Big Daddy to the side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When it comes to comparing Superman, you better put Christopher Reeves on top of the shelf and in the back. We ain't talking about Christopher. He's the GOAT. He's the forefather. So when I'm talking about Henry Cavill being the modern pinnacle of live action Superman, do you see that he is basically better than Tom Welling from Smallville? Do you see him being better than Brandon Routh, Superman Returns? Do you see him being, and I won't since you haven't seen Superman and Lois, I won't say Tyler Hoechlin because you haven't seen the shows yet or whatever. So, and have you seen Dean Cain? Have you seen Dean Cain?
Yeah, with Superman. I seen the actor that played Superman, but yeah.
Would you honestly say that Henry Cavill is, and including obviously what you've seen? I'm not gonna say David Cornsweet because his movie's not out yet. But from what you're seeing right now, do you truly believe that Henry Cavill is still the peak pinnacle of modern Superman portrayals in live action, besides Christopher Reeves?
Yes, I think he is. Modern. He just have a certain look about him. And that's one thing that I learned about like Superman. If you look at Christopher Reeves, he just had a certain look about him. It was just something about him. He just had that it factor. I don't see David Cornsweet. Yeah, maybe I'll see it in the movie, but on screen, I just don't see it. And I'm not. I think he's miscast, and Grace Randolph, who's been doing. he thinks he's miscast, but it's funny because in certain different, other images of him, he looks like a modern Superman, but under James Gunn or whatever's going on with his stylist with him,
you understand James Gunn's vision and his style. He doesn't look. He's not allowing him to exude that we kind of like it's there, but it's not there because we're not seeing it.
Yeah, just like with the little curl on this. I mean, it's there to mimic Christopher Reeves, but he doesn't fit the part though. So it just like I don't know. Maybe I think it's his stylist, maybe but yeah. To answer your question, I do think Henry Cavill.
Okay.
He just he has a certain look about him. He has a manly, masculine presence about him.
Facts. And it's funny.
Go ahead.
And it's funny that that you're saying Grace Randolph and even Tyrone Magnus, because and again, I value their opinion just like I value yours, and I see where they're coming from. They're saying that even down to Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, look, we just gonna get all up in it. You feel me? They're just saying that these kids, they look like they baby face. These kids, they look like kids compared to like Kevin Spacey is like Luthor and Superman Returns, like compared to even Michael Rosenbaum from Smallville. That Lex, you know what I'm saying? Like And then, like you said, when it comes to Henry Cavill, I'll be for real with you, and I'm gonna keep this G.
Go ahead.
When it comes to all the Superman betrayals that we had, and if I really had to say, like, and again, Christopher Reeves aside, he's forefather, he's Big Daddy, he's staying out of this. We're talking about all modern and stuff. When it comes to Brandon Routh, I'm gonna be brutally honest, dude. I don't know what it is, but Superman Returns to me, it's still one of the best Superman films of all time that I've seen. Due to, and I love Henry Cavill again. I love Henry Cavill. It's like, oh man, when it comes to how looking like Superman, I love Brandon Routh's look so much because he damn near looks like Christopher Reeve so much, and he just had a little. And see, Brandon Routh was a little bit beefier too than Christopher, so I'm like, all right, he's a little bit bigger, but. Dude, I really think that out of everybody, Brandon Routh has gotten really the short end of the stick because he only had one movie. He only had one film. And I think that was an A-plus Superman film. The only thing that movie lacked was a physical villain that he could really, you know what I'm saying, that he could really get down with. But everything else about that movie was perfect, down to the Lex and Kevin Spacey, down to the feats that he was showing in the movie. Like, he was going off, bro. He was flying. He caught the Daily Planet sign. He's doing his laser beams, you know what I'm saying? He's saving the people first. He was about to save Lois, but he turned back around to save the people, bro. I'm like, this man, see, he ain't a slave to the pussy, you feel me? He wanted to save the people first, bro. Like, and look, see, even DC all the way says Superman Returns is horrible and directed by a man who knew nothing about Superman. Come on, bro.
Yeah, but I remember I never seen Superman Returns in theaters, but I later watched the video. But I remember the marketing for it was enormous. You seen it everywhere. You seen it at Burger King. It was a big thing, but to know it flopped like that, because I think it only sold like 300 something million.
I didn't look it up, but you said 300 million.
Yeah, I think. Let me look it. I think it was only like 300.
God, I hope not, dude.
Let me look it up. But the story was just, there was some good beats in there, but I don't know.
Yeah, see, you were getting there. It said Superman Returns gross 391 million worldwide, with 200 million coming from United States, and then the film's opening weekend in the U.S. and Canada was 52 mil. So yeah, it was almost 400, but it was 391 million.
Yeah, so but I remember the marketing, and I remember you was around that time. It was everywhere.
Yeah, I was really young, man. I was young as freak, but that movie was so, man.
You seen it everywhere. That's when they had billboards. It was like at every restaurant. It was it was a big marketing push for that movie, and to know it flopped like that, just like, damn. Because like I said, Zack Snyder, his stuff, so what? Man, it still did like 600 or something.
Yeah, that's double. That's double Superman Returns, basically.
Right now. Yeah, that's the highest Superman film
ever.
We'll find out, July 11th. But then, is that really a Superman film? I mean, you got a lot of characters in it, you know.
Man, I'll say this, dude. Like, it's just I don't know. I don't see where the hate comes from, even down to that one scene. And there was a lot of iconic scenes in that Superman Returns film. Even the scene when the robber just shot him in the eye, and the bullet bounces off the eye. Who doesn't remember that scene? That's top tier epicness, bro. Like, just the way that he displayed his powers, and that Superman was on steroids, bro. And he was lifting the island of Kryptonite.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, like if you think about it, this motherfucker, he's the strongest Superman we've ever seen. This man is withstanding an island of Kryptonite and throwing in outer space.
Yeah, that movie should have did better. It should have did, but it didn't. You know, at the end of the day, it's what the box office say, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You feel me? Like, and at the same time, I will sit here and say, when it comes to any fandom, all this stuff that we're seeing right now, especially when it comes to the Superman cinematic fandom, these fans are fickle as hell. These fans are fickle as freak. You enjoy this 1 second, you hate it the next second. It's epic this moment, it's trash the next moment. It's a masterpiece here. Oh, and it's trash right there. It's like you either please one you either please one demographic or you please none. I feel like that's the way that the cookie crumbles when it comes to cinema. You can't please everyone. You can only please most of the majority, enough to make your film successful. But from what I've seen with just a lot of fandoms, dude, these fans are fickle as freak, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, but sometimes that's good though, because just like with the Sonic incident, remember the first trailer, how everybody was all up in roar. Sonic right now is on his 4th film, and it had 2 successful TV series.
Yeah.
So, sometimes that can be a good thing. And maybe James Gunn and DC Studios need to take note, because, I'm for the SnyderVerse. I want to see it complete. Will they restore it? We don't know, but
I still...
We're not going to stop fighting until we get it, Even if we don't, we have to fight. And that's the only thing. That's my channel is, you're the consumer, you want a product, don't buy into mediocrity. If you really want Zack Snyder's Justice League or whatever, make your voice heard July 11th. Because if that makes $1 billion or makes $800,
y'all better buckle up. Just sit your ass down. Buckle up, because yeah, I get what you're saying. It is, dude. That's just life in general. If you want something, you got to fight for it, because
you got to fight for it.
Again, if this Superman hits, if it at least hits 800 million or higher, even it don't even have to really even hit $1 billion. If it hits 800 or 900 mil, I'm gonna tell all the SnyderVerse fans, y'all better sit y'all ass down and buckle up, because at this point, and that's what I was gonna say, get into too before, because I don't want to run you on. I have 2 more questions left, and then we'll wrap everything up.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's time to buckle up, because it seems like, and I've already advocated for this at this point. If look at what Marvel's doing, right? Multiverse all over the place. Even down to the Fantastic Four trailer. I saw your reaction to it. I knew you already watched the Fantastic Four trailer. They are, and that Fantastic Four, if you know, as you already seen, is in the 60s, bro. It's in the 60s. Mm-hmm. It's not even in the same time that we are in with the main Marvel universe. So something's gonna happen that's gonna bring their ass from the 60s to modern time, or they're gonna be crossing over. Same thing with Spider-Man No Way Home. And I saw your reaction. I saw your review on that too. That crap's hilarious. I agree with you. But Spider-Man No Way Home was straight garbage. It was just nostalgia bait, and I'm not gonna lie, I loved it because of the nostalgia. The script is ass. Everything is trash, but it was good to see Toby and Andrew again, obviously. But I feel like that is the only road to common ground. And shout out to Johnny Dome. I see you. Thank you. Good final compliment. I think that is the only route to make everyone happy. And I wish James Gunn, if you came across this and you just went for it, just bro, like, please just give everybody one. Just go and do the Elseworld thing. Because Marvel is doing the multiverse. So why can't DC do the Elseworlds? That's one thing I don't understand. Marvel is not definitive, and that's where that money comes through. People need to understand. I don't care if there's 2 Supermen, if there's 3 Jokers, 5 Batmans, and they all got movies. If they're all fire, your ass is gonna see every single movie, are you not? If they're all fire, right? Aren't you gonna watch them all? So my question is, what's the issue if DC wants to take that route? Why can't the SnyderVerse continue? Hell, if Brandon, you know what I'm saying? Why can't the SnyderVerse continue while James Gunn is doing his thing? Same thing with the Batman Part 1. Isn't that going to continue? From that, the Penguin was a success. That's not going anywhere. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Even if James Gunn allows Robert to come in, or he chooses a new one, Robert's stuff ain't going nowhere. There's a Penguin season 2. I loved Penguin. I'm not going to sit here and cap. That show was fire, dude. So it's like, at this point, even with, I think, and so see, someone even said because Warner Brothers is broke. Shout out to DC all the way. I'm starting to truly believe that. I'm starting to truly believe that Warner Brothers is going bankrupt. and they're running out of certain options. You know what I'm saying?
Thumbs up. I mean, we'll find out though, because I'm expecting for the Superman promotion to be like Superman Returns. That's what I'm expecting from James Gunn.
It's gonna be all over the place and flop.
Yeah. If it's not, I don't. I mean, what is he relying on? Some YouTubers? I mean,
Stop,
what is he relying on?
Because I think we all know a main YouTuber who he has his hand up his ass.
Yeah, so it's like, what are y'all relying on? But
yeah,
you know, we'll see. But yeah, I think they should. You know,
I'm down for the Elseworld. I'm down for it.
And I think with the Snyder, we just want the story finished. You know, Zack left off at a cliffhanger. He's on record saying if he had the IP, he would want to do it. And our argument is, it's just, why can't he do it? Like, it's so much.
Yeah, what's happening?
It'll be a different thing if it was just like people in the U.S., but his fans is worldwide. Like, when he announced that Snyder Cut, that was all over the globe. I think the lady that was on there she was like from Cuba or Chile or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was worldwide excitement.
Yeah, so it's just like people want this. You have the ability to give it to the people, but you just don't want to do it.
Do you think he's at this point? He's being sincere with the things that he's doing, or do you think he's being selfish and egotistical? Honestly,
I think he's being egotistical. I personally don't have a beef.
yeah, I know.
But I think he's being a little egotistical. I mean, just by the crypto situation. It's not really crypto. It's Ozu that's white. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's James Gunn, dog. That's not really crypto. But I get it. You know, some fans, it's for James Gunn. And yeah, I do think he's being egotistical, but, you know, he's the head of DC. He went from a Marvel director, to the head of DC Studios.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap and go ahead and do the fourth question. I have the last one for you, but the fourth question I got for you is: we all know Zack Snyder destroys James Gunn when it comes to visual cinematography and action. But would you personally say that James Gunn is a better writer and director than Zack Snyder?
I really can't say, because I haven't really seen I haven't really studied his films. Like, the only reason why I was in the Guardians. The only reason why I was in that franchise is because of all the Marvel hype. Because that's why I was into it. I didn't really care about the characters. I was just seeing where the story goes. So I can't really answer that question, because I'm not really a fan of James Gunn. I've seen the Scooby-Doo movies. I thought those was pretty good for what they were at that time.
And I actually didn't even know that he did those. That's funny. I looked it up the other day. I enjoyed the Scooby-Doo things. They were pretty.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty. You know, for a Scooby-Doo movie, for a Scooby-Doo movie, yeah. Yeah. So, but after seeing Zack Snyder's Justice League, you know, I want more of that. People want more of that, and we're willing to do whatever, even if that's me, you know, boycotting or no Snyderverse, no money, to make the studios understand this is what we want. Even though, that's selfish for the actors, but that's just what happened. I mean, it's like I said, I don't have any beef towards David Corn.
Yeah, I know, of course.
If you're gonna restart a universe, give me something to look forward to. Like, oh, okay, he's doing that, and so far it hasn't. You know, there's nothing that I really like in that Superman trailer. But making videos about it, but. You know,
everybody in the chat again. I want to let you guys know that we see you, Superhero Scribbles. Appreciate you, DC all the way. Real Anarchy, appreciate y'all. I think someone said harsh critic. What about a Scooby-Doo and Snyderverse crossover from Superhero Scribbles? She said laugh mask off. But
questions for us or whatever before we wrap up. If you want to do that, end it like that. Do you guys have any questions? Well, I mean, you should ask it. I mean, this is your.
No, appreciate it, bro. No, listen, I'm not an ego, man. I'm saying I'm with harsh critics. If you guys have any questions, any serious questions regarding anything that we're talking about, let it be known. I see, and personally, I couldn't care about the Snyderverse anymore. But the only person I really do feel bad for is Henry. Facts. The only time I was ever mad was when we never got Sam. Look, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4. We never got it. He had a script ready. I heard Vulture, Black Cat was in there, all that stuff, and it never happened. Yeah, and she said, yeah, I do. She asked Harsh, she said, who's the best Batman to you from superhero scribbles?
Well, I grew up with Michael Keaton's Batman, and that was my Batman until I seen Christian Bale's. But then after Zack Snyder put Ben Affleck in the suit, he's my favorite. Right.
See, and she brought up a question. Since you brought that question, that's another pivot real quick. I want to ask, personally, I believe, to me, that Ben Affleck, I'm sorry, y'all can kill me if y'all want to, do whatever you gotta do. Personally, to me, Ben Affleck is one of the worst to me. Because you know why? It's like he's that's like you going out with a chick, she's a 10, you feel me? She's a 10, but doesn't have any of the attributes you want. I feel like with Ben Affleck, his look was the perfect Batman look. But him in general, as his Batman, I just didn't see it. He's the best looking Batman ever. But Christian Bale is better than him in every way. That's where I'm coming from. I don't know.
Well, that's good. You know, that's what everybody got different tastes. You know, that's good. That's a good thing, though. You know. Who would it be for you, Christian Bale or Ben Affleck as Batman, as your choice? Oh, you talking to me or?
Yeah, you, Harsh, yeah.
I said Ben Affleck. I would definitely like to see where that go. I just like the violence that he
This is the violence.
No, because that warehouse scene, man.
He's the best.
That whole sequence was like, man. We don't even have to talk about the warehouse scene. Let's talk about the scene. That's insane, man. Like,
and you know what? And now that you say that, again, I feel like it's just Warner Brothers doesn't know what the freak to do, because we will never know if. See, my thing is too, we will never know, personally for me, if Ben Affleck could have been the greatest ever, because again, if people don't know, he had a Batman movie that he was supposed to do. Script good, everything. It was supposed to be him, Deathstroke, and I heard that it was circulated around Arkham, bro.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a Batman movie with Arkham.
There's Deathstroke footage that they did. They were doing a test screening of it. It was in the works, but
look, we will never know. We will never know if that would have been the best Batman movie of all time. We will never know.
No, we never know. You know,
it's just that's the thing with Warner Brothers, and I get you with that, Harsh, because I'll say I respect your movement. I truly do, and I respect all the Restore the Snyderverse fans. Y'all have a big triumph to come over, because again, it does seem like out of any movie fandom in history,
Benefiber gently nourishes the good bacteria in your gut and helps them flourish so you can too. Grow what feels good.
I think y'all have been, and I'm speaking, and again, I enjoy the Snyderverse as well. I just wanted to move on just to see what would happen, because it's like I'm tired of getting hurt. But the Snyderverse fans, y'all are the most tormented fandom in the planet, in existence. I've never seen a fandom. No, seriously, I've never seen a fandom really go through all this heartache and turmoil. Down to Henry Cavill's treatment, down to Ben Affleck's treatment with his movie not coming to fruition, and even with Jason Momoa, you know what I'm saying, and Ezra Miller, it's just that all the ingredients was there to be a masterpiece, and due to stuff that happened with the actors and actresses and stuff that happened behind the scenes and the executive decision that was made, it just seems like Warner Brothers. And I'm sorry. Actually, I gotta say, I go with Scribbles. Yes, guys, let's admit, she said George Clooney. It could be worse. We could have George Clooney as Batman. George Clooney was straight garbage. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll retract to that. Yeah, superhero Scribbles. George Clooney is the worst Batman to me of all time. I'll be real. But yeah, man, the SnyderVerse definitely. Yeah, you guys are going through it. That's why I'm hoping and praying that we can all get what we want. Cause Tiger. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Hey, Sculpture, oh my God. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. She said. He said Superhero Scribbles is a guy. From what I was seeing, it looked like he had the long hair. I was like, oh, is that a chick? But yeah. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at this. I feel like if James Gunn Superman fails, damn, if it fails, bring back. I want the Snyderverse to come back. I really do. Even if it succeeds, I want the Elseworlds and I want the Snyderverse back. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah, go ahead.
So are you saying you want this? You would rather? So are you saying you would rather have
either
Snyder
or
than James Gunn?
I want
to pick one. If you was to pick one, which one would you want though?
Now, guys, just put me on the spot.
I mean, it's okay if you wanted James Gunn, but if you wanted SnyderVerse, then that says a lot about you. Well, what you really want versus settling for mediocrity.
So you're asking me if I had a gun to my head and either I say,
let's run out. That's still
nothing
like that.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, sorry about that.
If you had one or the other, which one would you choose? And be honest. Which one would you choose? If you had one or the other choice right now between SnyderVerse or the Gunnverse, which one would you choose?
Can I say that? Can I see what that's gonna say? I was gonna say, can we reserve that until after the movie comes out?
That's not. Let's just say you've seen the movie already.
Yeah. Oh, what if I've seen the movie already and I had to choose?
Well, basically, from what you've seen in those trailers.
Damn, bro. So you're telling me to go off from what I've seen?
Yeah, because you've seen what James Gunn is presenting in those trailers. You will see what he presents tomorrow at the Doggy Bowl.
Good.
So, based on what you've seen on those trailers,
yes,
would you rather have the Gunnverse or Zack Snyderverse?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. From what I've seen with the trailers, just so the chat hears it. From what I've seen with the trailers, not. Yes, I would rather have the Snyderverse. From what I've seen with the trailers, not including that I've seen the movie, but from what I've seen and comparing to what we saw, especially with the 4-hour Snyderverse or the 4-hour Zack Snyder Justice League, of course, bro, I would choose that all day, every day.
Why?
The epicness, the score, the cinematography, the action. Again, I don't even want to. Man of Steel alone. Again, Man of Steel alone, bro, is the best thing. It's still to this day. Even Marvel can get it too. To this day, Man of Steel. That was a solo Superman movie. Man of Steel's action scenes have still not been topped. Basically, I can honestly sit here and say
about the Smallville fight.
Dude, the Smallville fight, the fight between him and Zod, all of that stuff.
The Krypton scene, yeah. Yeah,
like, honestly, me and my sister, we saw Man of Steel when it first came out in theaters, bro, and I'll never forget that experience. I walked away with it. That's how you know it was real. We saw it in 3D, and I walked away with a headache because, we had to wear the 3D glasses and all that crap. But, bro, it was worth every brain-beating moment, bro, of that headache, bro, because I was like, I even got a Superman, the Man of Steel tattoo on my arm. Like, that's how serious it really impacted me.
So why not join the No Snyderverse, No Money movement if that's what you really want?
Oh my gosh,
you should be a member, man. But I respect people's different opinions, and that's the thing. A lot of people is saying the stuff about James Gunn, and deep down, they want the Snyderverse back. It's just like, and I get, because you guys are kind of young, y'all you want to move on, get somebody new. But my thing is, you don't have to put up with that. Make your voices heard with your money. You guys work hard for your money. You put on all types of crap on the job for that paycheck. When you spend that money, you want to be entertained.
Exactly.
And that's what Man of Steel did for you. That's what the Snyder Cut did for you. You don't want more of that?
And I totally agree. That's why I said, yo, if the movie flops, I want the SnyderVerse back. If the movie succeeds, yet again, just so everybody in the world can hear me, I want both of these. I want everything to flourish. Down to Matt Reeves' Batman universe, down to Zack Snyder's SnyderVerse, down to James Gunn. And you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of advocates that don't want that. They just want to move on from all that. They just want to stick with James Gunn's universe and what he's got going and cooking and everything. But in a perfect world, I want all of these universes to still flourish and continue. And right. I think
we don't live in a perfect world.
Exactly.
It's about money.
Exactly. You see, you said it's about money, and like you said, from what we're seeing all over the place and what you were saying, where do you think the money's truly at and what people want to see? The SnyderVerse. And I'll sit here and say,
you want the SnyderVerse. Even though you represent James Gunn, you just said deep down, when it comes down to it,
deep down,
you would rather have the SnyderVerse. And I feel like that's pretty much everybody. You know, I could be wrong, but if that's the case,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong because at the end of the day, now that we have something new, people are jumping on the wagon and the hype train and everything. I jumped on it because, again, thinking that we may never get the SnyderVerse to continue, I just moved on. Like you said, I moved on because I felt like, all right, we got a new one here. Let's go ahead and do it. But
go ahead.
But if somebody asks me, yo, Cass, either we take away this film right now, and Warner Brothers is actually going to allow Snyder to do his true vision and do everything that he needs to do, and they don't get involved, because from BVS we've already experienced that they got involved. If they don't get involved and they give him all the reins and everything, and Henry Cavill could come back and everything, I would have to be like, yo, let them finish, let them do what they got to do, and y'all, David and them, y'all could do your own universe. Like, that's what I would love to see. But
yeah, but like I said, you have to make your voice heard. And I think, like people like, John Campia, they say, well, you think WB is actually going to restore the SnyderVerse if Superman fails? What other choice do they have? Are you telling me that they're going to let Marvel have a monopoly on the comic book movie industry if they don't do anything in 20 years?
Hey,
I don't think they can sit out that long.
And John Campia, like I said, he seemed like he got his own thing going on. He seemed like he's a cool guy and everything. We all have our own opinions, but
right.
to what you said to that, Campia knows damn well that if this movie flops, if Superman flops bad, either Warner Brothers gives DC back to Zack or they sell it off. How many times are we gonna keep doing this when it comes to Warner Brothers and DC, bro? So
they put themselves in the situation, and I would say they're at the weakest point. The fans
ever. This is the weakest point ever for DC.
And it's like there's no win. If you let it fail, then maybe there's a stronger chance of getting it back. Even if they don't restore it or whatever, there's a stronger chance of getting it back if the movie fails, because they can be like, this is what the movie wants. I mean, this is what the fan
want. So just give them come back, Zack. As soon as that movie fails,
Netflix can pick it up.
Yeah. I see DC all the way in the chat. Yeah, if I would see the top buyers that I would see wanting to get at DC. Yeah, see, like even Johnny said it. It's gonna be Universal. It's gonna be Netflix. And oh my lord, if Disney buys DC, bruh, that would be the most embarrassing thing.
Government won't allow that. They won't. Certain companies can't buy certain companies. Government won't even allow Disney to buy Marvel.
So the government won't?
Yeah.
Oh dang.
They wouldn't let it do that. They wouldn't let them have a monopoly on just comic book. Somebody else will have to buy it.
Yeah, somebody else has to buy it. Yeah.
Government wouldn't even allow that to happen.
All right. I hope not, bro. I I would
That's
hope
why
not. Cause,
Microsoft never buy Apple. You know, even if
yeah,
it came down to, they would never allow that to happen.
it would have to be from another company. It
Yeah, it
cannot
had to be somebody like Netflix
it's
or
like they're hoarding. It's like they're
Amazon.
hoarding all the goods. It's like they're
Yeah,
hoarding all the goods. That wouldn't
it
be fair.
can't be enough. They can't have a monopoly on the comic book movie industry.
Okay.
So that would never that just would never happen unless.
Thank God for letting me know that.
Yeah.
Because so at this point, it would literally be Universal or Netflix.
Netflix, Amazon,
true, and Amazon as well.
Maybe another Sony, maybe, I don't know.
But see, if we're talking about DC, because if you think about it, Amazon isn't really like a film company, and Netflix isn't really like a film company. You know, they're streaming. So I would love, because hey man, Universal ain't half bad with certain films. I would love to see a DC Universal take, because Universal, you know, it's a big film company. They're the only, I think, last option that they would need to sell it to. It would have to be Universal, bro, because we got Disney, we got, you know, Warner Brothers, and we got Universal. So I would love to see Universal have a go with the DC stuff.
Yeah, Universal, that'd be a good take. But like I said, if you really deep down want it, just make your voice heard. You know, I mean, we don't know where this movie may go. This was just something I came up with because I got tired of
mediocrity.
YouTubers turn, you know, they for the SnyderVerse, then they turn around and diss their subscribers. You know, I'm 100% SnyderVerse, and when I mean no money, that's what it is.
You're not lying. You're not lying, because before this Superman movie ever existed, everyone was begging for the SnyderVerse to come back. Everyone was begging for Zack to come back, and then as soon as they revealed James is the head now and that he's making a new Superman movie, it's like everybody switched up. I was excited because I was like, finally, at least we're getting something. But of course, deep down, I was still sad because it's like an empty void of what could have been and what we won't see anymore.
You know? And it's really just about finishing the two films. Like, I know a lot of people want Ben Affleck's Batman, which, yeah, if we get that, that's fine. But just finish two films. You know, he left such on a high note. We the people, we want this. Make it happen.
And like you said, bro,
that's where everybody really need to unite, because we got the Snyder Cut. This was sitting in Zack Snyder's attic for 4 years? And it was just a rumor at first. Until he posted reels up online or whatever, said, yeah, it's true. It's 4 hours or whatever. So,
and then when it dropped, it was the biggest thing in HBO Max history.
It was the biggest thing.
Yeah, I ain't gonna take it away. That was HBO Max's biggest project that they ever did. Still to this day, it's the biggest thing they did.
Yeah, and it's like that was the movie we were supposed to get in 2006
in the theatrical, in the theaters. Yeah,
you know, and that was a good, you know, appreciation toward the fans, and you know, I respected WB and them for doing that, but you know, that's what they need to do. They need to give the fans what they want. They just want the story completed. You know, that's all we're asking. Like,
I think Warner Brothers, seriously, not to cut you off harsh, I just think Warner Brothers just really, really, really needs to get it together, because you got people even talking about the David Ayer cut with Suicide Squad. It's like, how many cuts are we gonna have with Warner Brothers, bro? Like, what? It's honestly, excuse my language, what is bullshit, bro? Like, what is Warner Brothers doing over there? What is happening?
That's because we the fans deserve mediocrity. They don't want to give us what we should have. That Ayer cut is sitting somewhere in James Gunn's office or somewhere, and we should be able to see that, because we went to the movies to see the director's cut, and we got something else.
Oh my gosh,
it boggles my mind when I hear people saying, "Well, should WB ever release the Snyder Cut?" Yes, they should, because that's what the people thought they was getting.
And look what happened when they did.
Right, but see, they would rather for you. I mean, there's people who would rather for you to settle for Josh Whedon's version, which we know that was a whole completely different movie.
It's straight up inferior. It was. People were saying, and the rumors before it came out, oh, it's not that different. It's not this. It's not that. And then once they released it and we saw the movie, we're like, bro, this is 4 hours of different epicness. What do you mean it's not that? We saw the truth. They revealed the truth, and I feel like that's what they were afraid to do, because they know it was going to be a big hit. it's like Warner Brothers, y'all don't care to make money at this point. I feel like I see the politics and the bullshit. Because if they release the David Ayer cut, and look, see, here we go again. I feel like if they release the David Ayer cut right now, do you know whose Suicide Squad movie might look inferior? James Gunn's. And that's why that's why I kind of, and sorry to cut you off, because see, now you're making my wheels turn, you feel me?
But you know what, see, that's the frustration that WB has done to you. You know what I'm saying? And you, like I say, you should be a SnyderVerse person. That's what they have done to you, man. I mean, when you think about it, it's really frustrating because we were supposed to get that. The Ayer cut right now was sitting somewhere in some attic collecting dust.
That's the point of sitting in James Gunn's attic because he's running the show.
Yeah, because
James Gunn attic.
You know, he's in charge. He said this, and he feels like we shouldn't see it. Why? Like, why not release it?
Hey, because like you said, he wants to feed us. He wants to feed us his food. You feel me?
Yeah, but a lot of people
feed us his food.
And then, like, when people like me or Aaron or the 4K, we try to say stuff.
4K, yeah.
We get a lot of backlash for it. But it's like, you don't have to accept this. You know, you do not have to accept this. And it's either they're going to do right by their fan base or they don't get our money.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing else to that, because as of right now, they haven't been doing right by the fans. I mean, just look at the situation with the Batman 2. Is it ever coming out? Probably not. I mean,
they did say Matt Reeves did reveal though that it is continuing. It's continuing to shoot this year. He said at the Golden Globes, and then James Gunn said everything's good. So that's still continuing. It is. I feel like they had to hurry up and talk about that now, because Colin Farrell had already won awards for his portrayal as Penguin, and the Penguin is still one of the best HBO shows ever. So they can't play with Matt Reeves on that. Matt Reeves, at this point, he has a bulletproof vest on. You feel me? And that's why I said, if they're going to allow Matt Reeves to have his, then let Zack Snyder have his. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't make sense to anybody. That's the thing. It should make sense, but it doesn't make sense. Why are they withholding the Ayer cut? Like, that's our movie. We want to see that.
And again, even David Ayer said the studios, just like how Zack Snyder said, the studios didn't allow him to have full control. And they took it away from us. You know what's sad? That they probably, I don't know whose idea. Now see, for Jared Leto's Joker, I don't know whose idea it was to put the tattoos on him and the grills, whatever. Mm-hmm. But deep down, because remember we saw the nightmare scene with him and Batman in the Snyder cut. Mm-hmm. I'm like, now that's what the freak I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And now my question is, who was it? David's idea to make him look like a freaking pimp daddy weirdo, or was it the studio's ideas to push it for modern audiences? Yeah, like a Post Malone from Superhero Scribbles. And then when we get the Zack Snyder version, that Joker didn't have the tattoos. He didn't have the tattoo on his head. That crap was retconned. He looked like a psychopath. And I liked it. And then you saw the banter between him and Batman, and we will never see their history. You know, is when he said, "Oh, you said no, the boy wanted to do a man's job." I'm like, we will never see their history.
Yeah, because I think David Ayer said his cut was a little bit more darker. It was more in line to what Zack was trying to put out or whatever.
Pushed on the Zack Snyder cut. That's what we'd have got more of in the David Ayer cut. And I truly do believe Jared Leto Jared Leto has an amazing Joker in him. No, Jared Leto's he's a good actor, period. And I feel like he got bamboozled. Even Jared Leto said he felt bamboozled.
Yeah,
when he saw Suicide Squad, he felt bamboozled.
And that's the thing. These companies, they have a bad reputation. WB, DC, it's just bad, man. I don't think rebooting is going to help it, because now, like you see, just that flying scene, somebody picked that out and it went viral. And every YouTuber hopped on it.
Every YouTuber is either attacking it or defending it. You feel me?
You know, and it went to Forbes magazine. That's
Bro.
why Gunn had it. It went to Forbes magazine. Now that's big. That's when you're in the big time, and I think that's the reason why James Gunn replied. But
yeah,
it went to Forbes magazine over that. So imagine what the rest of the movie looked like. You know,
bro. It hit, and again, me again having this hat and getting merchandise to help support this movie. After seeing the suit reveal, after again seeing that they don't have anything for the Super Bowl, I get it. The Puppy Bowl aligns with crypto. That's cute, but bro, you telling me y'all ain't got money for a spot at the Super Bowl where it's gonna see more eyes, but you're gonna put it for a Puppy Bowl because of is it really about crypto, or y'all don't have the money for the Super Bowl spot? You feel me? Make it make sense.
If they don't have the money, or maybe they're not confident enough to do it, because if they're supposed to start off a 10-year universe.
Exactly, and sorry to cut you off. Even Johnny said, yeah, the Flash was in the Super Bowl. Remember when the Flash came out for the last year's Super Bowl, and we saw the trailer?
Yeah,
so y'all you know what I'm saying? So y'all showed a Flash at the last Super Bowl, but y'all ain't gonna put the Superman for this year's Super Bowl? It's just something odd.
Yeah. Why Superman in the Super Bowl?
There's so much weird stuff going on, dude.
This is supposed to start off your DC universe, and it's supposed to last 10 years and stuff like that. You should, you would think they would want to put it in the Super Bowl, but they're going to the Puppy Bowl. But we'll find out tomorrow in a couple hours.
Exactly, in a couple hours, we'll see that promo or teaser, whatever it is. But But man, hey, I want to say thank you, so much for being here. I really, I know I can already see our brains flowing, the juices are going, the wheels are turning, man. I know we could speak for another couple more hours. I appreciate you being on the show, and I would love to have you on the show yet again, man. It's all love with me.
Again, and just want to say, July 11th, make your voice heard. No SnyderVerse, no money, wallets closed. Check me out, Harsh Critics. All right, bro. Peace out. Invite me back whenever you want to, bro. I got you.
For the guys in the chat, again, Harsh Critic, I appreciate you being here. It was a blessing to speak with you, my brother. It was dope. I would love to, if we can ever get 4KO to come on, Aaron Fisher, whoever. I'll even throw Johnny in here, man, and I would love to have a battle royal discussion on the state of Superman in general. And we can all just talk about it like grown men, and we ain't arguing back and forth, and we're actually picking and analyzing what we see fit in our opinions and what we believe in. So
I would love to do that. Set it up, man, because me and the 4KO, we've been going back and forth about a year trying to, but I'm still kind of new to this. So
yeah, man,
make it happen, bro. Make it happen. I'll come on.
Thank you so much. If you speak with 4KO, I'll let him know, and if I'll even comment on Aaron's videos, or if you know Aaron or anything, and I'll try to reach out to whoever, because I think as a Superman community, I think the truth needs to be said. Voices need to be heard on all ends. I'm not afraid to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Zack Snyder's state with DC, and also I'm not afraid to say that yes, I'm supporting James Gunn, but there's so much still left undone for Zack, and he was treated badly. And all Zack ever wanted to do, I could see in his heart, was please the fans. That's all he ever wanted to do. So I would love to see everything play out and everything unravel for him, especially in the memory of, his daughter and everything, and what happened and everything. I just feel like he deserves that, So
he did.
I would love to see it. I would love to see all of it just be unraveled, but thank you again so much, Harsh Critic.
All right.
I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for being here. Next time, we'll be more involved. Sorry if we didn't answer all the questions or anything, but it has been a pleasure.
We'll do it another time. Just let me know when you want to get me on, and I got you.
Thank you so much, Harsh Critic. You have a wonderful rest of y'all day. You guys have a good one. Y'all stay blessed. And hey, man, in a perfect world, restore the SnyderVerse. And I hope that Superman 2025 for James Gunn has all the success, man, that it needs to.
All right, bro. All right,
take care, man. All right, yo. All right, Harsh Critic. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Bye.